Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 367, DeShaun Tate, Lansing-bred and Atlanta-based basketball savant, known for Tate's Take Hoops, where basketball lives. How are you, DeShaun?
Man, I'm outstanding now that I get a chance to join you and Tom on the night, and I get some basketball right in the midst of it all, NBA Finals, so I'm excited. I was going to ask you if that was a trick question, actually.
Are you going to be okay since this is the end of basketball season as we know it for 2020? No more pro basketball. The Lakers rolling to a 28-point halftime lead. You going to be okay?
I like to think so. I think I'll be okay. It won't be long before I get, the draft and free agency for NBA. College basketball is right around the corner, so I'm excited about it. Got my fingers crossed.
Also want to welcome Tom Crawford, Blue Belly Tom, my broadcast partner since 2002. He is a regular contributor to the Wolverine.com, and he's the creator of the Crawford Podcasting Network. Tom, are you footballed out yet?
Oh my God, yesterday was crazy. I was literally drunk on touchdowns watching all that 11 hours of football. I watched way too much, and it was a lot of bad football, unfortunately.
You know how the NFL has red zone and you just see all the scoring plays and that? With all the touchdowns yesterday, you'd be watching them till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and I can't wait for Big Ten football, because then actually I think we might see some defense, I mean, it's possible, and we're still 2 weeks away from that.
I'm seeing a lot of high scores in the NFL too, guys. Yeah. I don't know whether it's contagious. We're seeing it with high school football. We're going to have a chance to talk about all those levels of football. We'll talk about the NFL. We'll talk about the national scene. We'll talk about Michigan State. And we're going to talk about the NBA. We're also going to talk about Major League Baseball now with the championship series beginning tonight. We've got the Tampa Bay Rays, I should say, against the Houston Astros. And then the Dodgers against Atlanta Braves. A lot of passion in Atlanta, right?
Probably too much in some cases. We'll get into that a little bit later.
And we're also going to take a look at the high school scene and games here now. Hey, this season is flying by. 4 of the 6 weeks in the regular season in the books, and just about ready for an all-comers state tournament, unlike any we've had before. Shades of high school basketball coming to football near you. We'll be right back in just a moment, and we're going to talk about the NBA, the Lakers seeking a championship, up next.
At the David Chapman Agency, it's our knowledge and expertise that make insuring home, auto, and farm easy for you. Experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
It's a Breast Thing is a very useful community organization that really helps women who don't have access to extra income that they need.
They help patients at the point of immediate need while they're undergoing treatment, and that has made a great difference for a number of my patients. One of the problems we often have with breast cancer is patients completing their therapy, and this was one of the things that helped them get to that end point.
Sometimes it's these grants, or when you assess that and they need it, it's just to help pay the rent maybe, or a heating bill, or just like daily living things that people need that now I don't have the income that I did because now I have a breast cancer diagnosis.
Get online for It's a Breast Thing and get one of these $1,000 grants. There's $1,000 and it's out there waiting for you.
The Smokin' Pig Barbecue is still serving their award-winning barbecue and delicious homemade sides. Stop in for takeout, order by phone, online, or get delivery through DoorDash or Grubhub. The Smokin' Pig Barbecue, across from the Lansing Mall in the Elmwood Plaza.
Howard Wolowitz. Cool. Redefined.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine at the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn. For the best in sports and entertainment ticketing, whenever those events resume, go to theticketmachine.com.
For three, it's good! It's good! Duncan Robinson from downtown, and the Heat back on top by 2. James drives, gets inside, running layup. It's good, and a foul! LeBron James ties the game on 1 with Markieff Morris. Butler drives, falling away, got it again! Jimmy Butler puts the Heat back up by 1. James and Butler. James drives, goes inside, layup, missed it, got the rebound, the follow, he banks it home. Looking, kicks it out, pass deflected, Caldwell Pope for 3. No good, Davis on the follow, and he lays it in as the shot clock expires. To the hands, of course, to Jimmy Butler. Butler goes to the basket, layup, won't go, but a foul. Like they will. Butler, clutch free throw after clutch free throw. Heat up by 1. Green coming up to set a screen. James goes the other way, drives down the lane, back out to Green. Green for 3, off the mark, no good. Markieff Morris has it, throws it inside and throws it out of bounds. Rondo looking for an opening, rifles a pass to James. James gets off the 3, it's over.
There you see an unforgettable Game 5 with the Miami Heat. 3-point win, 111-108. DeShaun, a lot of people tonight maybe forgetting that they had to have Game 5 to even get to this Game 6 and a big win for the Lakers. But LeBron James now, 4 NBA championships with 3 different franchises. What do you make of the effort of the King on his court?
I think that it's great. I mean, everything that he's been able to do in overcoming the adversity, a lot of things that he didn't even ask for placed in front of him and having to live up to it and not missing games and so forth. I think that is just absolutely outstanding by LeBron James, and you really have to give credit, where it's due for everything that he's been able to accomplish in this league.
Tom Crawford, a lot of people have a different impression of Jimmy Butler than they did 1 month ago. How did he go from a selfish coach killer to a fighter who can carry his team within 2 wins of a world title?
Well, maturation. I mean, he came out of the draft, 2011, I think it was, and he went to, he went from, Chicago to Minnesota to Philly. Finally found a home with the Heat, and Eric Spoelstra is the good fit, I guess. You talked to Duncan Robinson and what it's like playing with Jimmy. I mean, he shows up at 5:30 in the morning for practice now. He's fully committed, and it obviously shows in what we saw in this NBA Finals series.
DeShaun, I want to take a look at some recent NBA history, and these are NBA champions over the past 14 seasons. When you look at that and you see what LeBron and AD have the capability of doing, they're not done. Would another Lakers three-peat change the narrative about LeBron and everyone in pro basketball history?
I think it's a possibility. I mean, how likely it is, because people aren't really in love with LeBron. You have those who love him and those who really don't care for him so much. But before we start talking about a three-peat, let them win one first. That happened.
Yeah.
Let them win one more and then win another one to start talking about three-peat. But I think it's a little bit too premature before we start getting to that point. I guess all we can do is just hope and cross our fingers that we're around long enough to be able to see them actually do it.
Well, we've talked about finishing second and what that means. And if he gets 2 more trips to the finals, let's say, That would be 12. That would be twice as many as Michael Jordan had.
Sure.
Even though 6 of them, he came up as a runner-up, maybe he didn't have the strongest supporting cast with him. If you can win 12 conference titles, that says a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to also take into consideration when you're picking and choosing a lot of your teammates and picking and choosing coaches and so forth. A lot of that does actually happen. But regardless of it all, he definitely has done a really, really good, a significant job, overly great job at what he's been able to do and accomplish in this league, and you have to just really give him his flowers for it.
Tom Crawford, we talk about Duncan Robinson and what he has been able to do. He came off the bench more than he started his last 2 years at Michigan. That's starting from a small school as you can. And now he comes into the NBA, no fanfare, and he is a deadly sniper and a major reason that the Heat got where they did.
An amazing story, and people forget he spent 4 years in Ann Arbor under John Beilein. He was redshirt that first year, and then his points per average were not that great. 7, 11, 9, that vintage point. But he learned how to become a better contributor as a defender, as a rebounder. That's the difference with Duncan Robinson in the latter part, and then coming off the bench as an unselfish player that helped get Michigan to the Final Four.
One thing about it, DeShaun, I think in college basketball, you want guys who are all-around players. In the pros, you got to be able to do one thing really well, and that's what Duncan Robinson can do. We will be back in just a minute, and we're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about a tremendous Game 5 with the Tampa Bay Rays beating the New York Yankees. Up next on Press Pass.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
With over 60 years in business, Goodrich Optical is the leading eyewear boutique in Greater Lansing. We utilize the latest in digital technology to provide you with high-quality eye care. We are now located on Delhi Commerce Drive in Holt.
Time to get your game on. Sports wagering is now open at the all-new Dacey Sportsbook and Tap House, only at Firekeepers.
You've waited all year for pumpkin season. We made our new pumpkin pecan pancakes for exactly that reason. Every bite has real pumpkin, and pecan pie sauce is a plus. You can get it delivered or you can eat here with us. See you at Denny's.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton, South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Lefty, 3-2, Brasso sends one into left field, Gardner going back, and it is up and gone! Mike Brasso has homered, and the Rays have a 2-1 moment for Brasso. Tampa Bay on top on the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
DeShaun Tate, we have seen some riveting postseason baseball, but it is hard to imagine a better Game 5 than that. No, you want to see another Game 5, basketball rather than baseball Friday night, but Mike Brasso, Oakland University product, undrafted, hits that home run and eliminates the dreaded New York Yankees.
Yeah, Jack, I can't tell you that this is something I'm necessarily really used to this time of the year, being MLB baseball, considering the NBA Finals, but it does bring a little bit of a different element considering when you start talking about baseball. It's so much different than it is during the regular season. Every possession, every pitch becomes just that much more critical, and the thing I love probably about it the most is the fact that it was low scoring. I'm from the Big Ten market. I'm used to low scoring games. This is what I'm used to. I love this because it just goes to show how serious this thing can really get. Everybody's pulling out all the stops, and I love it.
Tom Crawford with nearly $100 million difference in the salaries for these franchises. How did the Tampa Bay Rays beat the New York Yankees 11 times in 15 matchups this year?
Well, timely hitting, like Mike Brasso right there on that timely home run in the 8th inning. He almost had his head taken off a few pitches earlier than that.
Right.
That's another story. But no, I just, small market, small money base beats big market, big money base, sweet justice. That's the kind of teams that you like, actually, Jack. And, let's face it, the Yankees did not have timely hitting this year, and now they're going to the side and watch Tampa Bay go forward.
With what the Tampa Bay Lightning did in winning the Stanley Cup, with the Miami Heat getting to the NBA Finals, college football, pro football, what the Tampa Bay Bucks are capable of doing, and we just say Florida, 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 and regardless of what happens in the election?
Or we could say LA, between the Dodgers, who I think are going to win the World Series, and the Lakers. So, I mean, it's like warm weather markets are winning this thing. Yeah, I think Tampa's going to, they could beat the Astros. I think people are going to be cheering for them because they don't cheat.
Ah, yes. Bang the trash can slowly. DeShaun, as a Georgia native, people in Buckhead really believe that Atlanta can buck the odds here and beat the LA Dodgers in the NLCS.
Well, after 15 years, Jack, I still like to think of myself more as a Michigan native. However, considering all things, I think that they're just extremely optimistic. 14 to 15 consecutive division championships, all that stuff is good. It's cute, but at some point you have to get to the bottom line. Dansby Swanson, Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, and Nick Alkakis. These are the guys that really have to be the ones to push it to the next level and to be able to overcome adversity. It starts with the very next game with the Dodgers. I'm just uncertain that they are extremely or overly confident that they'll be able to get the job done.
Terrific team, no question. Tom, we haven't talked about the Detroit Tigers in a while, not since they finished 23-35, but you know what this means? The 5 worst teams in baseball, hey, there's the Tigers, number 3, third worst. That means they're going to get another high draft pick. Are they going to be one step closer to consistent contention, or is this all a mirage?
No, I think it's legitimate building blocks. And, 2024, I have them getting back into the playoffs, which will be about, 10 years exactly to 2014, the last time when they got swept by the Orioles.
A little 10-year hiatus from postseason baseball. When we get back, we're going to talk college football, Tom's favorite. We'll be right back with that. Oklahoma, Texas. Is it over yet? We'll be right back.
When hearing loss begins to isolate you from the things you enjoy the most in life, America's Best Hearing can help. Through our combination of old-fashioned service and advanced technology, we can help you achieve your best hearing and a better quality life. Come in today to enjoy up to $500 off your next pair of hearing aids. To schedule your free hearing evaluation, give us a call or visit us online at americasbesthearing.com. America's Best Hearing. Begin your journey to better hearing today.
Can you name one thing Gary Peters has done for you? He wants us to lean into the Green New Deal. A socialist plan that would kill our jobs and send electric bills skyrocketing. Peters also backs a government-run healthcare plan that would slash hundreds of billions in funding for our hospitals and could force 44 Michigan hospitals to close. Healthcare cuts, hospital closures. Michigan can't afford Gary Peters. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The only station with local news weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs.
In trouble, Ehlinger gets downfield. Ehlinger still running. Ehlinger on his feet. Holy Toledo! Big Sam! Whoa! 2-yard field goal. Again to throw it. Steps up in the pocket. Throws on the run. Oh! Drake Stoops! Touchdown OU! So here comes a 2-point conversion. Rattler sprints out. Timing throw. Got it. Touchdown Weiss. Or 2-point conversion Weiss. Ehlinger. Winds up. Picked up! And that's your ball game. Trey Brown!
Tom Crawford, you have covered a lot of Oklahoma and Texas football in Dallas. Have you ever seen a wilder matchup in the Red River Series than what you got yesterday in that 4-overtime classic?
Well, I don't know about wilder, but I've seen better. I'll tell you what, because the football, I mean, look at our highlights here, Jack. We saw a couple missed field goals. I mean, there was a lot of penalties, sloppy play. The tackling in the Big 12 is just atrocious. It's unbelievable. The coverage in the secondary is bad. But Sam Ehlinger is fun to watch. And it was an entertaining game. I watched, as I said at the open, I was embarrassed to say how much I watched college football yesterday. And I watched this entire game pretty much. And neither of these teams are going anywhere. They're 2-2 heading out of the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. They're going nowhere in 2020.
DeShaun Tate, there were some matchups of ranked teams this week. Clemson and Miami. Clemson flexed its muscles, showed it was the #1 team in the country. Alabama and Georgia surviving some early scares. Florida, not so fortunate with Texas A&M.
Yeah, Florida at this point now all the way up to number 10 in the rankings, or down to number 10 in the rankings, but they've got their hands full moving forward. You've got LSU, you've got Missouri who has big-time wins, Georgia, Arkansas. It's SEC all over again at its finest. When you score 51 points, 38 points twice, sometimes it kind of has you thinking, where's the defense in this whole thing? Florida better get it together or they won't be looking forward to any kind of postseason or playoff opportunities.
Tom, when you think about the takeaways from this Texas A&M Florida game, maybe the one that's going to last the longest is Dan Mullen, Gators coach, afterwards saying, hey, he wants 90,000 people there at Florida Field. Maybe it was too much noise for him at Kyle Field at Texas A&M. Your thoughts on that plan?
Well, actually, I'm behind Dan Mullen on this particular topic. Not all of them on Dan Mullen, but certainly on this. This is ridiculous. And the way they're doing it in the South, the Big 12, the SEC. I mean, they have a variety of different amounts of fans in these games. I like the way the Big Ten's doing it. No fans. And, you know, I mean, at Kyle Field, there was a good 50,000 in there. No question about it. It's not fair at all. And so when they do go to the Swamp next year, next week, since Florida is kind of the Wild Wild West in terms of social distancing, in the Swamp, there'll be 90,000 fans crammed in there. So he'll get his payback on that, Jack.
Super spreader event. That's what you have in the SEC. DeShaun, let's take a look at the new Associated Press Top 25 and where some teams got moved. What stands out to you, especially where Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, and the Michigan Wolverines are ranked?
Yeah, for sure. When you're looking at it, Jack, if I'm being just quite honest, I mean, I don't think that it's terrible for them to be ranked exactly where they are. However, I think one of the biggest issues that they have is the fact that they haven't played any games yet. Yeah. When you start talking about Wisconsin and Michigan, who are going to be coming out playing really big games, especially really early. Michigan playing their rivals between Minnesota and Michigan State. Right. Obviously, Wisconsin going to be playing some tough games as well right out the gate. I think that that's going to add a little bit more pressure, but you've still got some teams that have already put themselves in position to kind of get some warm-up games in place.
Tom, I thought maybe Minnesota would be in that, and can you believe Penn State is number 9, only 3 spots behind Ohio State, and that's without Micah Parsons, the best defensive player in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. That's a big, huge loss for Penn State. I don't get any of this stuff. And so, I'm taking this with a grain of salt, going into it. We're going to find out, on October 24th moving forward, see how good they are.
We'll be right back, and we're going to be going green here, and we'll talk with Elijah Collins. Also going to see Michigan State's basketball captains for 2020-21 coming up next on Press Pass.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Breaking! Car insurance rates are dropping. Did you know Michigan's auto insurance laws have changed? As of July 2nd, you are likely overpaying for coverage. We have always offered low rates, but now our rates are even lower with Stop One Insurance, where everyone's approved.
A woman who was young had COVID-19. I remember her because she had a bracelet that had the names of her children. She asked me, "Doctor, am I going to be okay?" And I could not give her the answer that I wanted to give her. There's no excuse for why we don't have this under control at this point. Joe Biden listens to medical experts. He actually has a plan that does the things that we should have been doing many months ago. And Joe Biden is not going to let his ego get in the way of fighting the disease.
FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Get your first look at the weather that's heading our way with the Weather Satellite Radar on Fox 47 News.
Sponsored by Winter World of Lansing.
Every night is family night. Last man standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30 on Fox 47.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment. Brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River and Okemos. With 106 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. For a new or used vehicle, go green, go Graf.
How do you back that up, and where do you have to improve to be able to make those numbers even better in 2020?
I mean, in all aspects of my game. I'm one of those people who don't think I can have a perfect game. So it's like it's always something I could do better, whether that's running the ball, catching the ball, blocking, just knowing what the defense is, regardless of what it is. I'm trying to get better at it.
Do you feel, Elijah, like you're at all underrated?
I put in the work each and every single day. For me to have what I have is what I deserve. That's how I feel. For me to get more, it's just going to require more work, and I'm not scared to do that.
Tom Crawford, Elijah Collins has more rushing yards last year than any returning back in the Big Ten. Is he a solid sophomore, or could he become much more than that?
Well, I think he's got a tremendous upside. The sky's the limit. This is a kid who came out of Jesuit High School, UD Jesuit High School, and I don't know, a couple hundred pounds, and now he's like 220. He's pretty jacked right now, and he wears that number 24 jersey. I'm not saying he's Eric Allen, but I mean he's a good running back for Michigan State. I think it's good to have Connor Hayward back, kind of pushing him, some experience there. People might have different ideas about Connor,
right?
But I think he's going to have a good season.
DeShaun, Mel Tucker, behind Elijah Collins and Connor Hayward. He has other backs. He has Anthony Williams. He has Brandon Wright. He has a couple of incoming freshmen, Jordan Simmons and Donovan Eaglin. Got a lot of backs there. And then newest recruit, Audric Estime, Friday night rushed for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. Do you need this kind of backfield depth, or do you like it where you have one guy and he's your horse?
I like the backfield depth, personally. Especially considering the fact that Connor Hayward, I'm kind of pulling for him in my own way. He's a Georgia kid within his own right. But even more so, this is Big Ten football. You want to make sure that you have a sturdy amount of guys that can run the football. That's what Michigan State football is all about. It's all about ground and pound and running the football. From that standpoint, I think you have to have multiple just in case, kind of the same way they did with Jehu Kolkrick and Javon Ringer and some of those guys. I think that it's put together very well when you have multiple of these guys that can run the ball.
Tom, we have looked at MSU's schedule a lot of times, but as we take another peek at it, what is the Spartans' best chance to pull an upset, and where are they most likely to get stung?
Well, it's not happening on Halloween Day, I'll tell you that right now.
Pride comes before the fall.
There's trouble with this? No.
It's not happening. No, actually, the game after it, I think they could pull the upset at Iowa City. This goes back to Kinnick Stadium not having a home field advantage, Jack. I really think this is going to be a crazy variable in this whole thing. As far as a game that could sneak up on them the other direction, Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Maryland could knock them out. I don't know. This Michigan, who knows what this Michigan State team is going to be like? We don't know. We don't know anything about what Mel Tucker's going to roll out there.
We both said 3-5.
Right.
And you said 6-2 for Michigan. I said 5-3. DeShaun, what do you think for those two teams?
I think it's very similar to what you said. I'm not sure if I'll go 5-3, but I think a little bit. You know what? I'll take you up on that one. I'm going to
Okay.
go 5-3 on that one.
Okay, all right. Al Martin said Michigan State's going to win 5 games, so who knows how that's all going to come out. DeShaun, I want to talk a little college basketball here. And Tom Izzo announcing the Spartans tri-captains for 2020-21. These aren't coaches' picks. These are the players' votes. Joshua Langford, back as a graduate student now. People forget that when he got hurt, he was the best player on this team, not Cassius Winston. Aaron Henry coming back. He took a long look at the NBA. And Foster Loyer back as a guard. What do you think of that kind of leadership? Can they get Michigan State to another Final Four?
I think that Langford is a shoo-in this position. If you're looking for someone to come up here and say that they're going to discount Michigan State for the Final Four in March, then you probably asked the wrong person to come on the set. However, realistically, I don't think that it's nearly as likely, but it depends on a couple of guys, a few guys who I think have to grow up really fast. That is Aaron Henry, that is Bingham as well, and that is Brown also. I think a huge part becomes a part of that. And when you start talking about guys like Foster Loyer, I think he's a little bit more tum-tum Nairn than he is Drew Knight, so in my opinion, until you show me something different.
Tom, what does it mean when players elect the captains as opposed to a coach appointing them?
That's the greatest honor one could have, because that's your comrades right there supporting you. Every captain will embrace that idea that his fellow teammates voted him captain.
We will be back in just a couple moments, and we're going to have our Law of the Jungle segment. We're going to talk about Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Dak Prescott going down today, and it's a special week in the NFL. The Detroit Lions did not lose. We'll be right back.
Illuminate your home with Capital Lighting of East Lansing. Our beautiful selection of fixtures will make your whole house shine. We have thousands of styles and finishes available, from modern looks to classic designs. Visit today at Capital Lighting of East Lansing, where bright ideas begin.
Fact-checking Shaheen Chevrolet's claim that they will give you $3,000 minimum for your trade or $3,000 over KBB value.
We'll give you full KBB value for your vehicle, plus an additional $3,000 towards a new one.
It's true. These offers are on their website at ShaheenChevrolet.com. Ralph Shaheen has tweeted them as well.
$3,000 more for your trade, the guaranteed lowest price on any new Chevy.
This claim is also true. There are some rules, but Shaheen will give you the lowest price on any new Chevy, or it's free.
Only at Shaheen Chevrolet.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Whether you lean to the right or to the left or somewhere in the middle, get all the latest information in one place. Vote in 2020. Your guide to the elections. Visit fox47news.com.
I'm next. How can I help?
Next, Tuesday at 9 on Fox.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. Peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road. Your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. That's why I'm there every week.
Bucks playing without Godwin, without Watson, 4th down and 5.
Brady, pass is broken up, incomplete, and the Chicago Bears are going to take over. DeAndre Houston Carson was there for Chicago.
I don't know, Brady. I think the way Brady reacted and hold up his foot, I think he thought it was third down.
And Brady's still standing out there. But that's fourth down, and it's Chicago's ball. And that's the end of the night, and there may be some confusion out on the field. And Brady's finally being told that's it. You know he knows.
Tom, I have seen a lot of quarterbacks lose their minds, not just lose games. But how shocking was it to see the NFL's GOAT, Tom Brady, lose track of the downs and look so befuddled at the end of the Bears win over the Bucs?
It showed you Tom Brady is human. I'll tell you that right now. And also the way he delivered that ball. I mean, that defender had inside leverage. I'm surprised he even threw the ball. He was clearly covered. But you know, the most part about what I was disappointed, Jack, in Tom Brady on Thursday night in that win, or that loss rather, to the Bears was just, you know, he's just cutting loose and jumping down the throat of his lineman, pointing the finger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a big fan of that at all. And as much as I marvel at Tom Brady, Michigan guy, and what he's accomplished, Super Bowl wins and all that stuff, it wasn't a good look for me of him on Thursday night.
Tom Brady has thrown 4 pick sixes in his last 7 games. Drew Brees has had periods where he has struggled. Are these guys, when they get up to 40, are they defying Father Time?
They're trying to thread the needle. There might be some of that muscle memory. Automatically, I can thread that needle. He's 43. I tell you what, he's doing amazing. You watch Tom Brady moving forward, the competitive edge that he has in his belly, watch out.
DeShaun, the Las Vegas Raiders did what no team has done since last November 10th. That's beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and they did it in Arrowhead. How did that happen?
I asked you a couple segments ago about where's the defense, and I think that still kind of relates exactly to what this is. 40 points for the Raiders against this Kansas City defense that I'm not saying is outstanding because they're known for their offense. However, I don't think anybody would necessarily disagree with me when I say that we don't have the same expectations from what we've seen over the course of the last few weeks from this Chiefs team that we did from last year. So from that standpoint, everything looks different when you have that kind of that bullseye on your back and so forth. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has to run the ball much better than he does 10 carries for 40 yards. That's just not going to get it done.
Tom, what impressed you most about the NFL's Week 5? All these COVID questions, some big play performances, and one absolutely devastating injury for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, that was graphic. Boy, I just shudders just to think about that. But let's go to COVID for a second. I think we're going to see a lot of disruption, if you will, moving forward in the NFL. We're seeing games pushed back. I think that's going to be a glaring issue, and I don't know how they're going to pull this thing off, but let's keep our fingers crossed on that. Obviously, the Las Vegas Raiders were impressive today. I can't get beyond that, calling them Las Vegas. And then keep in mind the Pittsburgh Steelers are undefeated, and then quietly the Green Bay Packers are undefeated. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting moving forward how long these undefeateds can stay.
How long, Tom, is it going to take you, or maybe has it taken you, to be able to say this team is a serious title contender and these teams are pretenders?
You mean from my team's perspective?
I don't mean for the Lions. I mean when you look at the NFL games and you watch pro football Thursday, Sunday, Monday, now Tuesday.
Yeah.
Do you have a pretty good feel yet?
No, not at all. It's all mucked up, but because of the, there's no fans. I think that's clearly a variable in the schedules and COVID lists and things like that. I haven't really got a good feel. I know the Steelers got a really good defense, just like the Ravens have a good defense. And Kansas City looks human as well.
DeShaun, we have not mentioned the Detroit Lions yet, and a lot of our viewers might thank us for that. But as you take a look at the Lions' schedule now, coming out of the bye, is it possible that they can make up some ground? Schedule gets a little bit easier here. And with this stretch, is this their chance to get back to 500 and beyond?
I think so. I really believe this, especially when you start talking about being able to save the coach's job and whatnot. You start looking at the next 6 or 7 of their games. I think 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 8 of their games are all winnable.
Yeah.
Granted, slow down. We are talking about the Lions here. However, going up against Gardner Minshew and those guys up next, that's going to be something that might be a little bit more complicated, but it gets easier as the week after. Back there where I'm from in Atlanta, where I live at, it can be a lot easier going forward because of the fact that
we'll be right back talking high school football next.
We are MEA, a foundation of collective strength, an advocate for education. K-12 educators, support professionals, and higher education employees, united to support our students, our schools, and our community. Together, we are the shield protecting every student's right to succeed. Michigan Education Association. Champions for education.
Millions of coronavirus cases, tens of millions of jobs lost. In 2020, healthcare is more important than ever. John James claims he'll protect us, but look at the facts. James supported a plan that strips healthcare from 23 million Americans, charges an age tax, and eliminates protections for pre-existing conditions. If we can't trust John James to support us now, why would we send him to the Senate? SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can't see me!
She's out, Doc.
I-O-N. Submission.
This is great. This is awesome. And it's boom drop time for Kofi. Look at RKO out of nowhere.
All hail the queen.
What is this maniac doing? The dead man has risen. Oh, no!
What is that smell?
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. We got a new champion. We got a new champion.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Lansing's Best segment, brought to you by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. The GLSA has brought thousands of athletes and teams to Mid-Michigan for hundreds of tournaments and special events. And we'll do that again in 2021, showing just what Mid-Michigan can be. The DeWitt Panthers, always a powerhouse, but there you see 4-0 start. And 3 of the opponents didn't score more than 3 points. Tom, it was a wild weekend of high school football, but when you consider a 40-point win over a team like Warren De La Salle, what kind of a statement does that make for Rob Zimmerman's team?
Yeah, this is exactly what Rob wanted to find out, get his team out of this market and go down to the Detroit Catholic League, which is notable for state championships, including De La Salle. The Pilots were not too long ago. But this is not a vintage De La Salle team, so it didn't really surprise me. This game played down at Wayne State, but DeWitt is really, really good. What they did to Portland, which is an excellent football team, as we both know, this is a very impressive team that Rob Zimmerman has, and who knows how far they'll go in the state tournament when you get in that Division III.
Tom, you and I were both at Lindsey Adams Stadium, and we saw East Lansing, I would say, really defeat River Rouge, a game that was maybe more lopsided than the score would indicate. And we don't get to see East Lansing and DeWitt play. How disappointed are you in that?
Well, I'm glad you asked me how disappointed and not ask me who would win the game, because I don't want to go there. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I mean, it was a quirk in the schedule, and the schedule was off, and it was back on, and a couple teams had committed to games, and so they'll be co-champions undefeated in the CAAC blue with a 0 on the right side. Huge disparity between East Lansing and Holt and everybody else in that league when you got Holt and Grand Ledge down from where they've been in the past. So that would be a great matchup if it happened. Unfortunately, not this year. And they're in different divisions in the tournament. East Lansing is Division II this year.
Tom, I noticed this a couple years ago, and I can't quantify it, but why are we seeing so many lopsided scores in series that used to be competitive?
You know, I mentioned 2 programs right there, Holt and Grand Ledge. Those are storied programs with deep youth football programs, a lot of kids. I mean, from my understanding, Holt doesn't even have a freshman and JV team. I don't know if that's COVID related or not. Maybe this is a one-off year where we really can't evaluate it. But I was really surprised East Lansing just lit up Holt to the tune of 63-0 the other night. That's just not right. I don't understand how that happened.
The 4-0 Mason Bulldogs, Tom, got a big win over Fowlerville, but they still have a matchup with undefeated Williamston and Lansing Catholic left on the schedule. What do we expect from Mason?
Well, Gary Hogan had a lot of kids coming back. I knew they were going to be good this year. A solid junior class who did well last year, and they're all back, including a top-notch quarterback who plays linebacker. Lansing Catholic and Mason, that's going to be tough because Lansing Catholic may be a step down, obviously, from last year, but they're Jim Ahern's program, we know how good they are. That's going to be a classic matchup indeed.
And finally, the Pewamo Westphalia Pirates have outscored 4 league foes, 230 to zip. They have a matchup left with Lansing Catholic. They also have that grudge match with Fowler. What do you expect? Can they go through this entire 6-game regular season without allowing a point?
Well, I think Lansing Catholic will score on him. I don't think Fowler will score on him, and I think that PW is going to beat Lansing Catholic.
And Fowler is also unbeaten, and you know what it's like throughout all the PW. Be tough to keep all the people away from that game. You know, they line the fence and they're 3 deep around it. We'll be right back. We're going to have our Cool and Smooth weekly awards brought to you by Culver's. Play of the week, game of the week, team of the week, up next.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
So what are your thoughts? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
So what do you think?
Hey, you're on mute.
I think you're on mute.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. I can't hear you. Oh, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Your voice, your vote matters. Fox 47 News.
We are MEA, a foundation of collective strength, an advocate for education. K-12 educators, support professionals, and higher education employees, united to support our students, our schools, and our community. Together, we are the shield protecting every student's right to succeed. Michigan Education Association. Champions for education.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by 4 great Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Okemos North and South, North Lansing and West Lansing. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. Swing through any Culver's drive-thru and grab your fresh favorites. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
They're so even on total strikes at the moment.
In my life, Dan.
Joaquin Buckley with that spinning ninja kick and sent Impa Kasangane into dreamland. That's the end for him, and you'll be seeing that knockout for many years to come. All right, Team 367. Who's as cool and smooth as a Culver's Mint Explosion? What do you have for us, DeShaun, for our play of the week?
I'm not sure that anything is more cool and smooth than Buckley's roundhouse kick like that. But you know what? I'm going to go with every play from Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Of course, I have to be complicated like that.
Yeah.
Far too many turnover plays for the Miami Heat, and unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be the ones that get it done.
And LeBron James? Nah, I won't ask you the GOAT questions. We'll save those for another time.
Sounds good.
Tom Crawford, what about our team of the week? Lots of candidates.
Yeah, I could be Captain Obvious and give it to the world champion LA Lakers, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give it to the Chicago Bears, the 4-1 Chicago Bears, because it's better be lucky than good. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. They were a very lucky team, like they were against the Lions. They're lucky to beat the Bucks, but they're 4-1. So, and Nick Foles doing the job. So, hats off to Chicago Bears, team of the week.
How about the Las Vegas Raiders too? That's quite an accomplishment. Everyone says, "How do you do that?" Lots of candidates for our player of the week. Certainly what Duncan Robinson did. It's amazing, DeShaun, to think that in his last 2 years at Michigan, 79 games, he started 22 of 79.
Sure.
But he learned a lot, and here he is, and he's making a difference and extending this series. Congratulations to a guy who started out at Williams College. But I think the player of the week has to be Mike Brasso. He is from Northwest Indiana, and nobody wanted him. He came to Oakland University, didn't make much of an impression until his last year, goes undrafted, and here he is stepping in against Aroldis Chapman, and he gets a haircut. That ball went right over his head. And then he comes back and he says, no grudge. I'm just here. I'm just trying to do my job. And he takes Chapman deep, the fastest pitch that had been hit out for a home run in the stats-driven era, over 100 miles an hour, and Tampa Bay beats the Yankees again, and here they are, moving on to the ALCS against the Houston Astros. So that's going to be a good series. Looking forward to the Braves and the Dodgers. Great time for baseball. We've got to put basketball to bed, but we've still got the NFL and, Tom, Big Ten football. Here before you know it. We're talking about 13 days.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, I'm just getting impatient waiting for it. Still, it should have happened by now, the 17th, but we got to wait a little bit longer, but it'll be here quicker, sooner than we think. We'll just say it that way.
Yeah. What do we really know about this? I mean, we've been talking about this all along. Do we really know anything about Big Ten football right now, except Ohio State should be pretty good?
We know names, familiar names, and we know, he's and we're talking to coaches and coordinators. They're doing good. He's a gamer, but you don't know. And until that thing lights up on the 24th, then we'll finally find out.
I want to thank our panel for Team 367, DeShaun Tate, Tate's Take Hoops, where basketball lives, and Blue Belly Tom Crawford, the Crawford Podcasting Network. We will be back next Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe.